Now, the advice. The advice is I have been reminded in recent times, mostly to myself, but this is something that came from my father of all people, but I think it's good wisdom because I've heard versions of it other places. There are two types of people in life. There are builders and there are maintainers. And you would do well to figure out which one you are. It doesn't mean that you're absolutely not the other one, but it does mean you will gravitate to this type of personality, this type of situation much, much easier than one or the other. So the builder is the consummate salesperson. They are the one that is out there, constantly selling, constantly looking for a deal, constantly putting business together. Of course, a lot of mini marketers, but not all, are builders. If you think about it, they're the ones they don't maintain very well. If you give them that, the set process office job back and forth, all day long, every day, they won't do that well. They'll do it for a little while, and then they'll start trying to re-engineer it. So yeah, those are the builders, and like I say, those are a lot of salespeople fall into that category. Entrepreneurs should fall into that category, but a good entrepreneur also knows that he or she needs a maintainer to come alongside and to do everything. Maintainers are the accounting people, the office managers, the ones who are steady at it. They're good with doing the same thing. They don't like building new systems. They don't like putting that in place. They don't like some of that stuff. They really just like the doing the same things over and over and over again. And so builders need maintainers, and maintainers need builders. Maintainers don't take risks, really. They want everything to be the way it's supposed to be, whereas a builder really is taking a risk quite often. Probably at giving the maintainer heartburn, right? So yeah, there's that. Let's see. There is, and so that's the advice. Figure out which one of those you are. And like I said, just because you're one doesn't mean you're completely devoid of the other. Every builder has a little maintainer in them, or should. Every maintainer should have a tiny bit of builder in them, or they should be able to connect with people who are the other. It's not an opposites attract thing. It's if you really have the best, you both have the best interest of a business at heart. When you start it, you're going to see where you fall. I'm very much a builder person. I'm not a maintainer. I need maintainers in my life because I don't have them. And not necessarily anyway. So I will be always looking to surround myself with some maintainers because I'll build enough for everybody. Some of you folks who are really good at doing the same type, maybe you're really good at building websites or funnels or doing SEO. SEO is definitely a maintainer job, but it's no less important. I don't mean to sound that it's not important. It really is. So these really do need each other. So figure out which one of those you are and put that in the comments just for fun. Are you a builder or are you a maintainer? Which one do you think you fall into? If you really stop and take stock of yourself a little bit, just for a few minutes, it's kind of fun. My father, when he first came up with it, was actually, or got it, he was actually getting that he was referring to preachers for church. So you have ones that come in and really build up a church and really get everything going, and then you have the maintainers who are absolutely steady at it, steady on, and they're the business, they're the business directors of a church, that are constantly do the same things over and over again and make sure it runs and it runs well. So figure out, just for fun, figure out which one you are. So that's a bit of advice there. All right. Now, the suggestion, it is now November. There are only a couple of months left in this year. And unlike a lot of businesses, marketing, I mean, the tendency is to take the rest of the holidays off, because at least in North America and a lot of the United States in particular, there's a couple of big holidays back to back. I mean, and then if you're over in Asia, particularly around China, you have the Lunar New Year a couple months later, but it was January, February, that time frame. So you have the tendency is always to take that time off, and to not do as much. So let me offer two suggestions for you here. Okay. So one of them is to not stop prospecting. That's firmly got to be in that category. I mean, I'm going to still be prospecting, still looking for opportunities. This is often the time when people come up for air for a minute and they realize there are things that they have to do and that we need to get started on them. And so don't write things off just because, don't think anybody's not looking just because it's the holidays. Some in many cases are. So there's that. But also take this time, but for the next couple of months in particular, to brush up on your systems, to brush up on your, and this will make the builders crazy, but and the maintainers to some extent. But to take a look at what are the processes in your business by which things happen. What are the process steps? What are the things that are going on that really could be something that needs some attention. Things change a lot in a year, especially in marketing, especially around go high level. AI has come on. Maybe you're wanting to implement AI. Maybe you're wanting to do some other things. So this is a good time to, while you're still prospecting and servicing your clients, don't forget either one of those two things. But this is a good time to take stock of some of that. Maybe you need a little more training. You need to learn how something works that you're not very good at, but you need to be good at. Maybe clients are looking for this, you're noticing, and you're not up to speed on it. If you're like me, maybe your general sales process could use some revamping and some attention and updated graphics and updated different things. To freshen the look, freshen the approach, freshen videos a little bit, whether they work or not. Go back and do something similar. So, I mean, there's something to be said for that. Take a little extra time and actually go through and do it, because it can be it can be eye-opening for you. I mean, we have a little bit of time between now and then. You're not going to be full throttle all the time like you have been. We've kind of wound down now, yeah, but we're not stopping. So this is that time to test some new things, to get it out there, to start planning for something a little longer term strategy. So you're going to hit the ground running in the new year, and you will have not stopped. So because you will have not stopped, but you have updated your processes, when you hit that ground, it's not a cold start. You're not starting from nothing. You've been able to beta test some things. You probably tested them on some of your prospecting methods. On some of your prospects as you're working through it. It's a great time to do it, to make sure that everything works. And so then when January comes along and you really throttle back up to full power, you're ready to go. Your systems are tested. You've revamped them. They look the way you want them to look. So I hope that's a good, couple of suggestions for you. Don't stop prospecting, and then also, take this time to examine your systems. Take this time to go through them. Even if you go through and you realize that, okay, I'm happy with the way this is. This is working for me. I don't need to change a whole lot about it. Okay, that's fine. But at least you went and had a look. Normally, if you're going blazing, you're not going, you're really out there trying to get business. You're not going to notice those things until you stop and look. So please stop and look, right? So, okay. That is the advice and that is the suggestions.